All right. Hi. I'm just going to say that I had an interesting conversation in the dentist chair yesterday with the dental assistant, and she's so interested in understanding how to, we're dealing with or keep in mind, this is like somebody in their 20s, and she just wants to look like, she wants to have this body, my body. And I was like, interesting. But she wanted to know what I did to get here. And when I told her it was basically yoga, she was flabbergasted. And she wanted to know what kind. And I said, well, interestingly enough, it starts with this foundations class. And we learn how to use the right muscles for the right job and really learn how to use the biomechanics of our body so that we can work smarter and not harder, but keep this beautiful gift that we are and find attunement. And if you think of your body like a bicycle that you would want to keep in high, refined working order so that you could get up and climb a big steep hill, and when you switch the gears would seamlessly switch, because I think we've all ridden a bicycle where the gears are clunky and they haven't been taken care of, and sometimes they don't want to go to the gear you want, they skip it. And it can get quite frustrating. So as we learn to fine tune the gears in our being, in our physical form, it also affects our bodies on this more energetic, subtle form. So I think beauty and power starts with having the courage to show up and open your heart to the body that you've been given, and understand that you get to make it really something that you get to work with, not against. So let's just take a moment and identify for you, what does your body feel like today? And can we just sit in a moment of honesty, but not really look for the worst? Can you look for the good? And just start to feel. And, if you took really great care of your bicycle, which I think a lot of people who love cycling take really great care of their machine, and they think of your body like something you really care about, and you harmonize. Maybe it's your espresso machine, not your bicycle. And just soften to your breath. And thank your body for being this really beautiful container that you get to strengthen and learn how to operate every single day you take it out for a ride. And draw your hands to your heart. For me, the practice of yoga is consistently remembering to bow into the body and listen to it. Notice when it's anxious or stressed, when it's tired. Notice when you can shift the energy that's streaming through you just enough that you start to move towards your center line, your homeostasis. And we'll just open with the sound of Om. And remember that the Om has 4 parts. And I don't think all 4 parts come through when I offer the Om over Zoom, but it's ah, oh, and a silence. And they work like gears that enmesh and seamlessly flow one into the other. And they all support and sustain the greater Om. Deep breath in. Big breath out. Deep breath in. One more. All right, let's come to all fours. Keep your blanket handy, or you can put it under your knees if you're needing that kind of support today. And as you come to all fours, we'll take tucking the toes, and that'll help us remember ankle loop and shin loop, and how those two parts of the body work together. And then as you keep the shins pressing forward towards the floor and towards your wrists, reach your hips back. So remember, thigh loop roots the upper femur bones back. Now pull the tailbone down towards your heels, and there's your pelvic loop, and that also fills in the waistline. When the waistline gets full, it's easier to fill in what's called kidney loop, and that's, we're going to bow the mind to the heart. Press down through your hands and slightly tone your navel so you feel just below the navel lifting into your back body. So we get this beautiful pranam, this beautiful bow into not just the physical form, but the whole of who you are. And try to keep the actions of ankle, shin, thigh, pelvic, and kidney loop as you come forward and up to an all fours posture. Now we'll take it doesn't matter, one of your hands behind your head, and as you lift your nose parallel to the floor, press the back of your head into the palm of your hand until your throat lifts. And we start to find shoulder loop and skull loop. And we'll take that hand down and reach back and bow into the body again, activating ankle, shin, thigh, pelvic, kidney. Pull the belly, the body, and the heart forward. Take the opposite hand that you did. You need to use for side two, and then press your head up into your hand and start to feel the shoulder blades. And notice you have to push down through the grounded hand a lot. And you're not trying to lift the crown of the head faster than the nose or the eyes. Press your right behind your eyes into your hand. And release that. Take a downward dog. And when you think of how gears enmesh, start with looking back at your ankle loop. Press the top of the shins forward towards your toes. Maintain that so the gears don't go away in the bicycle. They don't disappear when you're not using them. In fact, they help you build for the climb. So keeping shins forward, press thighs back, use your hands, push the upper hip creases back. Now push down through the balls of your feet until you feel your buttocks and your legs engage. Strengthen the core, strengthen the belly. Pressing down through your hands. You can release your head, but lift the pit of your throat slightly so you feel the front of the throat get strong and your ears line up more with your biceps. Now from the heart, push down through the arms and lengthen your spine. Please walk your feet forward. Active feet, steady shins, thighs back, pelvis strong, waistline lifts, stacking the bones, so the upper thigh bone over the lower ankle bone. Use the tailbone, pull it down as you bring your hands to your hips, and then we'll bring the heart up over the pelvis. Bend the knees, chair pose. So it's a great pose for remembering the actions of the loops, placing the hands to the front of the belly, bow the mind to the heart and pull the belly back. And then lift the top of the throat and pull your ears over your shoulders and lift the heart. Hands behind your head. Deep breath in, pressing your hands into your head so that your head can then press into your hands. Start pulling the throat back, anchor down from hips to heels, and see if your shoulder blades can lift your heart and look up to the sky. Free the arms and bow forward. Inhale, side body's long. Exhale, right leg back and lunge. I'm going to bring the back knee on the floor. It's a similar shape to one of our apex poses where the shin loop is intact when the bottom back knee is on the floor. Press the knee forward, push down through the front leg and lift up. Reach up. Hands behind the head. We'll start by remembering kidney loop because the kidneys have to support the courage of the heart. So if we're going to open up and get ready for a big climb, just pull into who you are. Keep the strength, push down through the legs, and then start to use where the head presses back, the throat presses back to gently guide the shoulder blades up and into the sternum. Keep the shoulder blades moving down, stretching the arms high. Deep full breath in. Long full breath out. Next inhale to dog pose. Next exhale to settle. From your hips, push through your heels, plank pose. Pull the heart forward, all the way down. Spider arms. Really bow in and lengthen what's called skull loop. So when you bring your chin more towards your chest, the back of your neck gets longer. And when you bow in to the heart like this, it's easier to pull the kidney loop. So pull the navel away. Use your core strength. Now from your tailbone, strengthen all the way to your toes and start to slowly lift the nose, the eyes, the top of the throat, the lower ears, and the back of your head for your cobra pose. Like your head was pushing into a block. Press back as you strengthen the tailbone. So the gears below have to support what's happening above. And lower down. Place your hands, inhale up, exhale dog. Tiptoe forward. And chair pose, hands behind your head. Bowing in. Keeping the top of the thighs back. Lengthen the tail, keep the kidneys full, and now use the shoulder loop and open the heart. Keep pulling and toning the lower belly back, the tailbone down. And then extend the arms by lengthening the shoulder blades towards your hips. And bow forward. Inhale, side body's long. Exhale, left leg back, place the knee. Find the loops of the lower legs and lift yourself up by stacking the gears. Hands behind your head. Bow in. And then keep the kidneys full. Pull the back knee towards the front heel so the lower loops stay strong. Shoulders, blades, pressing down and then up through the sternum. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, enjoy. One big inhale, dog pose. One exhale to lengthen your dog. Inhale, powerful plank. Steady shins, thighs lift, tailbone roots. Maintain the kidneys all the way down. Set the legs. Breathe into the back body. and have the courage to unfold from the anchor of the hips to the lightness of your heart. Settle down, hands, toes, up to dog. Deep breath in and tiptoe forward. Chair pose, hands behind the head. We'll go a little faster. Bow in. Keep stacking the gears so they're all working in harmony, and let that open. It's like reaching the top of the climb where your heart goes, yeah, I made it. And then big celebration, the arms lift. And a full dive in, forward fold. Inhale, side body's long. Right leg back. Now imagine you're going to set the back knee, but don't, but push the ball mound with the foot forward, press the top of the shin forward, keep the thigh lifting, more pelvic loop on the front leg, kidney loop on both sides. The loops can work on both sides together, or one side usually needs to work at a faster rate. Hands behind the head. Keep the kidney loop on the left, moving back faster as you stack the shoulders. Now full expansion from the hips, press through the bones and lengthen. You can seat yourself deeper down into your lunge. Stretch it up, arms high. Big exhale, downward dog. Big inhale, plank. Big exhale, chaturanga. You can go spider arms or regular cobra. Inhale. Exhale, dog. Tiptoe forward, Uttanasana. And enjoy. Take the seat and chair. Stack it up. Light it up. And bow forward. Side body's long, big breath. Left leg back, high lunge. Use your leg bones. Use your core. Prepare to open the heart. And then let it roll. Once you're ready to take organic energy and push it down, use that to stretch the arms and lengthen the whole inside seam of your back leg. And one long exhale, dog pose. One long inhale, plank. One long exhale, chaturanga. One beautiful inhale, stack up the legs to open the heart. And downward dog. Inhale to your knees. And we'll take your left hand over to where the right hand is. Anchor it down, bring the right hand behind your head. And as you press your head into your hand, and then the hand that's on the floor, use that left shoulder blade to open the heart to the right. Inhale, unwind. We'll thread the right hand under so it would go where that left hand would be, and then pause, press down through the hand, press the head up, and then right shoulder blade twists and opens. And cross crawl it other way. And left shoulder blade, left shoulder loop, working at a faster rate. And then cross crawl, right shoulder loop. And cross crawl, left shoulder loop. Cross crawl, right shoulder loop. And that just feels good. So one more on each side, please. Use your breath. And big, wide, high V, extended child's pose. Pressing fingertips down, lift the wrists, elbows, underside of the arm. Use the finger pads pressing down so firmly that you can feel your shoulder blades start to reach toward your hips. And then reach your hips toward your heels. Lift the belly button away from your thigh bones. It's a very, very, very active, alive, empowered, lit up, courageous child's pose. Inhale forward, all fours. Regular hand placement, dog pose. Inhale, left leg up. Step it through. Turning and warrior two. And side angle, hand behind the head, right hand. Plug the feet towards the midline between them, squeezing back arch towards front heel. Press the shin loop, especially of the straight leg forward, so that you can move that upper thigh bone back. Thigh loop pushes down so the femur bones settle. And now big radical pelvic loop on that left side. Pull the buttocks down, kidneys full. Now it's that left shoulder blade that's going to open the heart here. Trust it, lean into it, find the courage to open up, palate back, ears back. Lengthen the right arm. Inhale, lift up, warrior two. We'll transfer to side two. Pause and receive. Side angle, hand behind the head. So the loops are the sincere refinement. It's like wanting to clean the chain and all the gears so that they work. Push down, squeeze in muscular energy, back foot to front heel. Then back shin forward, upper left thigh bone back, kidneys pull in, and right buttocks draws down. Right shoulder blade pulls down and opens the heart from right to left. From your hips now, stretch down and lengthen. Left arm along the ear. Inhale, warrior two. Come to Purvottanasana, the wide-legged standing forward fold. You can either interlace your hands behind you or keep the hands on the hips, up to you. And hands right down underneath your shoulders. Pull the heart forward, side body's long. Please take that right hand behind or underneath your nose rather, and left hand behind your head. Squeeze the midline with your legs, stack up the bones of the legs. Really reach down through. If you want your right hand on a block, that could give you more space in the lower back and hamstrings. Now it's that right shoulder blade that's going to turn and twist, open. And exhale and wind. Set up the general form and get ready. Ready to be ready. Plug in with the legs, lengthen the spine, press down through the left arm, and then stack it up. Left shoulder under right shoulder, twisting. Inhale, square. Please turn to frame your front left foot in a lunge. And downward dog. And if you got to take Jacqueline Préti's class, one of her classes I took, and I loved it, where she had us do a forearm plank with the heels to the wall. What do you think of that one? Do you like it? Come down to the knees. If you'd like to find a wall, you can find a wall. For me, since I want to give you a better view, I'll just use a block, but I'm going to put it behind my feet. And you want to use your wall so that when you are up in plank, you've got something to press the shins forward, but the pelvic loop down through the heels. And that'll help you find your core strength. Lift the belly button by pressing down through the forearms. Be sure the shoulders are right over your elbows if you can. And now press the pit of your throat and the back of your head straight up towards the sky. And breathe. Now enjoy the shin loop that's going to bring your knees forward and down, and the thigh loop that walks your thighs back and your hips towards your heels. Come forward just enough to tuck your toes. Bring your hands to your hips. Keeping the thighs back and the heart forward. Hover here. Hands behind your head. Now this is a tough one, but you want to keep pushing your heels towards your wall. Heels towards the wall. That's going to fire up the back of the legs. We need the back of the legs really strong. They need to help you when we're climbing the climb of life. Now the pelvic loop comes in not to overpower the thigh loop. Yeah. So as you push down through the legs and you pull the back of the buttocks down towards your knees, you'll start to stack yourself up, pull the belly button back, push through your heels. Now press through your head, let the elbows come a little more forward. You can see them. Now anchor down and use the shoulder loop to lift your heart off of the steadiness of your pelvis. Keep pressing from the hips to the heels, down through the inner knees, and curl up a little higher. And then we come out in reverse, bow in, and then hips back. Whew. All right. I'll take that one block and put it in front of you. And put your right foot on it. You might want a blanket under your bottom knee. And we're going to imagine we've got suspenders on. And then you're going to loop your thumbs through your suspenders. But really it's coming, I didn't cue a strap. So instead of having a strap here, imagine you're taking the back of the heart and you're lifting it up. Press down through the legs and lift the heart, top of the throat back. Now press the arms forward at an angle, plug them in. And as you stretch down through the legs, let the arms lift higher. Top of the throat back, lower ears back. And curl your way up and out. Switch legs. Pause, breathe. Get settled. You don't have to keep the back toes tucked under, but it helps you keep your shin loop. And it helps keep that back foot disciplined. So if you want to point the toes, spread your toenails. Press the back knee forward regardless of the shape of your foot and push down through the front foot until that thigh loop sinks right where the thigh connects to your leg. Find your suspenders, bow in, kidneys full, and then use the shoulder blades, press the elbows forward, top of the throat back, and then anchor down to rise up. Inhale your way out. And downward dog will feel good. Inhale, plank. All the way down. Sphinx pose. Bow into the belly. Strengthen the leg line. Shins forward, thighs lift. Tailbone roots as the elbows drag back. Use shoulder loop, top of the throat, lower ears. Press back. This will be a little challenging, but we'll try it. Left hand behind the right elbow. Right hand behind your head. Bow in. Strengthen the legs. Keep pressing that left hip forward. And now lengthen the tailbone and press your head back, head back. No compression in that left lower back. Keep the side bodies long. There you go. And release. Right hand behind left. Strong legs. Deepen the breath as you strengthen and lengthen. Top of the throat back, lower ears. Keep that right side body really long. There you go. And all the way down. Up. And that high V. Child's pose. Great. Inhale up. Please take 2 blocks. One behind or on the outside of each ankle. Start with your hands on your hips. Tuck your toes. And again, if you can't tuck your toes, I know some people have bunions and that doesn't feel good. So you've got to squeeze the big toenail down and spread to the baby toe if you're pointing your toes. Pressing the thigh loop back. Pull the belly button up and back. And as you lengthen down through the back of the pelvic loop, lift the heart. And we're going to take the left hand behind your head. Turn and twist so you can see that block on your right. And place your hand. Good. Now attune your mind to your right shoulder blade, your right shoulder loop. And it's the one that's going to open the heart to the sky. So as you anchor through the legs, that right shoulder, right eye, the head pushes back, and then we turn and open the heart courageously. Stack it up, let the heart lift as you come out. And hands to hips. Hips back, thighs back. Push through your heels like you did at the wall. Turn and look to that left block, right behind your hand behind your head. Keeping the thigh bones moving back, the heels pressing back. Lengthen the pelvic loop. And now it's that left shoulder that's going to loop up into the heart as you press your head back. Lead with the left eye to turn both eyes towards the sky. Lifting the heart to come up and out. Have a seat either on your blocks or on your heels. Close your eyes, deepen your breath. If that was too deep of a camel pose, you can do the very same actions with the hands remaining on the hips. If that camel pose wanted to go deeper, you can either lower the block 1 level or 2 levels, or you can use your heels instead of the block. We're going to do that again, and you kind of see if you're going to switch gears by lowering the platform of where the hands go. It's a big jump. And we'll attune to the breath.
Allow yourself to be ready. Thighs back, push through your heels. Keep pushing through the heels as you pull the pelvic loop down to lift up through the heart, turning to the right, left hand behind your head, and then stack it up. Use the legs, use that right shoulder loop. Use the legs to lift the heart. And get ready to be ready. Thighs back. Looking left, place the right hand, thighs stay back, push through your heels. And as you start to stack the legs, the heart will have the courage to grow. And then left shoulder loop. Rolls from left to right. Anchor through the legs, come on up. And have a seat. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Camel pose can be hard for people. It's a level 1 back bend. And as a newer yogi, I found it to be kind of a nemesis pose for me. I bend backwards naturally. So we'll try one more camel pose. And if you'd like to, this time we'll keep thighs moving back, heart lifting, and then trust and have the courage to stack it up so that you can reach back and find your heels or your blocks with both hands, or find the way where you have to stop and hold yourself. So you want to be able to om here. Om. Yeah. And curl your way up and out. Downward dog. Take the 2 blocks forward so they're at the head of your mat. Downward dog is now a counter pose. So the shin loop and the thigh loop are really important. Shins forward, thighs back. Inhale to your knees. All the way down to your back. Extend left leg down and hold the right leg. Supta Ustrasana. Bend the lifted leg. Take the opposite hand to your outer right knee, and then we'll twist across the body. And if you need to, you'll bend the bottom leg as well for just ease and grace in your lower back. Inhale back to center. Little baby bridge pose. And hips to the earth. Stretch right leg down and long. Hold the back of left leg. Everything we've focused on, the loops, always applies. So whatever's made sense to you in the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. How do you stack up your bones here to create deeper opening? It comes from the courage to be in your body, the one that you get to fine tune and learn to harmonize. So bend the lifted leg, open the left arm as you hold the left knee with your right hand, and use an exhale. Twist it with exhale, and remember you can bend the bottom knee any amount. It's the pelvic loop of the right leg that's really critical here. Can you lengthen the back of the right glute to the sit bone? And extend then the thigh loop from sit bone to the back of the left knee. And back to center. Place your feet, pick up your hips, set them down. Hold each knee with one hand, let the knees go wide and rock it side to side. So we'll build the key principles, these key actions in a more flow, faster paced practice on the dynamic flow. So if you want to come in for that, we'll get some more movement. And take what we learned today and apply it. Please roll to your right. Give yourself the kindness of fetal pose for 2 breaths. And allow your hips to remain really weighty and grounded so you can use your hands and look down to come up. Take your seat, whether it's up on a blanket or a block, and see if you can fine tune the way your pelvis rests on your support below. Lift up really tall through your heart. And hands to heart center. A 45-minute practice is rather quick. And yet we can do some really good deep work and then move into our day with courage and presence. When you take your last Om of your practice, what kind of offering are you making today? It may not come out in a deeply understood, formatted sentence or concept. Just feel it in your body and give it to your Om, and then give the Om to the universe. Deep breath in. Big breath out. Inhale. May we continue to work with the courage to show up and love the body that's ours, strengthen it, open it, and love it. Namaste. Mwah. Have a beautiful rest of your day.